So I was way back in my day, like you, a party promoter, but I was in a fraternity. So I was president of the fraternity. This was, yeah. And what we knew, and this would be really interesting for the audience from a human behavior perspective, is that like clockwork, every time we'd start a new pledge class within 14 days, 10 to 14, it was like clockwork. They would all get together and they'd revolt. And they'd say, we don't want to do it anymore. This isn't what we signed up for. This is way fucking harder than we thought it was going to be. Like, we thought we were just going to party with you guys. Like, that's what we expected. Which also shows you how long it takes people to adapt or acclimate to a significantly more difficult situation, right? After we have this kind of talk that we had, and I'll tell you how I explained it when I was president, all of a sudden, it all vanishes. Because their expectations of reality have completely reset. We break reality. Like in the first 10 to 14 days, it's so painful for them because it's such a contrast from what they were just doing. Not the fun stuff.
What's not fun?
Oh my God. I mean, they can't drink, can't talk to girls. The only people they could talk to are brothers or each other, and we're mean to them. So they could really only talk to each other. Part of what they had to do is they had to learn everything about everyone else in the house. And so every pledge has to do something that would impress a brother. And then they get a signature from the brother being like, I approve of you. And you have to get every single brother's signature by the time you're done, right? And so that's where each of those side quests become as insane as you might imagine, right? And there's lots of, there was lots of hazing back in the day, which is not fun. And, a lot of sleepless nights and things like that. And you go from like partying with girls, feeling like you're top of the world, all these brothers feeding you drinks, being like, you're awesome, dude, to then like the next day. And this is literally how it happens. This is how like the break in reality happens. We do this huge party to like launch the new class. And the next morning they all wake up, they all sleep at the house because that's one of the requirements. And they're all hungover, got their ties, like vomit in the corner, whatever. And we're like, great, clean it up. And they're like, what? Because up to this point, they haven't cleaned after a party. Because all they did is got to party, see the girls, and then leave. But then all of a sudden, they're like mopping bottom in the corner, and they're hungover, and they feel terrible. And they're like, what the fuck? This is what I signed up for, right? So anyways, 2 weeks of this, they get together, and they wanted me to meet them. And this always happens because they want to meet on their turf. And I'm like, all right, guys, what's up? And so I just asked them a couple questions. I was like, who here before pledging started was like, I want to be a part of this house? The guys are like, me. Okay. I'm like, okay, got it. Who here thought it was going to be easy? I'm like, who here thought it would be hard? They raised their hands. I'm like, guys, this is what hard feels like.